Well, if you didn't believe that Disney was grooming children with their Marvel movies after Doctor Strange has a character running around with that weird gay trans flag on her lapel pin the entire movie, try to get them going, after they said that they're going to put a gay kiss into Buzz Lightyear, a children's program, after they're throwing a fit at Florida for saying, hey, let's not sexualize children in second grade. You know, if you thought Disney was going to go and say and just stop and be like, you know what, actually, this is a bad idea. Let's leave children alone. You're wrong because Obi Wan's about to come out, and now the showrunners are trying to make this into a gay romance. Because what isn't a gay romance? Everything must be a gay romance. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and I have Overmind launching on Kickstarter next Tuesday. There is no gay romance in this. It is just a wonderful action adventure with a redhead, which you're not allowed to have redhead characters anymore. But we're providing you fun. This is the best science fiction graphic novel you'll have read in a long, long time. If you like the old school stuff like Valerian, like the Incal, like Star Wars from, the late 70s, this is going to be something for you, and you'll really enjoy it. So please sign up. There's a little green button, notify me on launch. That link is in the description below. I appreciate all the 180 people who are excited for this already. We're going to make this big, and hopefully one day maybe we'll make movies, and it'll be better than Star Wars. Be awesome. All right, here we are, the story of the day. Obi Wan Kenobi, showrunner, describes the relationship between Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker as a love story dynamic. Of course, it's a woman because it's either a gay guy or a woman doing this every single time. Can't have a man writing a show about a man. Remember how like they do the cultural appropriation thing? Like if it's a woman lead, that you better have a female director. How come that doesn't apply when it's the lead's a white male? We don't have. That's another tangent. Okay. So here's her comments. She's in the Vanity Fair article, and she says, "For me, across the prequels, through the original trilogy, there's a love story dynamic between these two that goes through the whole thing. I felt like it was quite hard not to include the person who left Kenobi in such anguish in the series." So there you go. It's a love story dynamic across the thing. This is a bizarre take on this. There was a mentor dynamic across it, and then a guy who turned against his mentor. But the love story thing, I don't see where that came across. But they used to make fun of this sort of thing on TV. It used to be a joke. If you remember, I just keep thinking about Scrubs, which was a very funny show. This probably wouldn't be allowed today because it's this is homophobic to make a joke like this. They had a whole song where the two characters talked about guy love, and it was hilarious. But you're not allowed to joke anymore. Jokes are bad. Jokes are evil. Jokes are anti-Semitic and homophobic and misogynist. Deborah Chow would never allow that sort of thing to be in Star Wars. So she's got this like weird idea that there's this love story between the two, and it really doesn't make sense. In the first movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi is there, and he's lamenting his past and lamenting everything that happened because, a bunch of Jedi are dead, and it's Darth Vader's fault, and he's hoping that Luke can do something about it. And that Luke can kind of restore balance to the Force, as he says. It's really about the Force. It's not about Darth Vader as a person. And if you look early in the series, Obi-Wan doesn't want to train Anakin in the first episode. And the second episode, he reluctantly takes it because his master's dead. And then they kind of have a bickering relationship over the course of it, which, is meant to provide comedy a little bit. But it's also meant to be like a teenager fighting with his father. That's what George Lucas was trying to portray. Unfortunately, George Lucas, like his script needed a little work there. But that's what it's supposed to portray in the whole deal. And as he grows, that's kind of exactly what happens in the third movie too. But to present this as a love story is really weird, and especially when you say across the prequels also. Because if you remember the prequel, the kid's 9 in the prequel. And this is where it gets into the grooming factor, because if you logically think about this storytelling-wise, you have an adult with a young boy. And there are homosexual groups that push this stuff. You remember the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir singing about we're going to convert your children. There's actually an organization called the North American Man-Boy Love Association, in which science fiction writer Samuel Delaney at least was a member and used to encourage their writings, saying that it was a good thing. So these people are existent in Hollywood, and they are interested in grooming young men into homosexual lifestyles by abusing them as children like this. That's the weird part to me. This is a real thing. People talk about this like it's conspiracy theory, but these are real organizations. Look up NAMBLA. It exists. It's real. How the hell do they exist and be allowed to? I don't know. A rational society would not allow that kind of thing, but we're not rational anymore, as evidenced by this. So we'll see what happens. I really hope they don't do this, but I know how Disney goes. Everybody's going to be at least somewhat gay or bisexual or whatever by the end of this decade. You're not going to be able to get away from it. Right now, they're doing it on tertiary characters like America Chavez and Doctor Strange, where it's just kind of in the background, but that's grooming you because they're getting you to accept that. I see a lot of people talking about those movies going, well, it's not that woke. There's only a couple seconds of it. But you know what? They used to not have that. They used to not just like pause the movie to tell us and lecture us about LGBTQ whatever in the middle of every movie. They do that now. It's only for a couple of seconds, but it's coming to the point where it's going to be these main characters, and they're going to push further and further into pedophilia like this. All right. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Disney's going to be this bold? Sounds like it from the showrunner. Leave a comment down below. We'll be back soon.